And you wanted to play with me. Kick me around, knock me down to size. Well, you called me son. I get it now, Connie. It's business.
Hi, I'm Bryan Alexander with Time Magazine. I'm here with Jon Hamm, star of the critically acclaimed series Mad Men, which begins a new season on AMC starting July 25th. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
What's your view on how the show has dealt with racial and political issues of the time period?
I think that we've dealt with them in an honest way. I think I've read other sort of reviews of the show and things that sort of take us to task for not having more African American people in it, or having more, dealing with gay issues or women's issues or whatever. And I think that criticism is fundamentally flawed, because the show is not a travelogue through the '60s. Essentially, it's not a history.
But it is sort of shocking when you see the show sometimes, but by staying true to how people were back then, that's sort of making a social statement in its own way.
Well,
would you agree?
We certainly try not to sugarcoat it. Again, we're just trying to portray this world accurately and honestly. And we're just trying to present those people as honestly as we can. And that comes with warts and all. I mean, if everybody was just smiley and perfect and everybody held hands, it wouldn't be very interesting.
Chris Hollenback from Madison, Wisconsin asks, are those real cigarettes you're smoking on camera?
They are not. They are a blend of some kind of herbs and spices that burn and look like real cigarettes. But there's no nicotine and there's no tar. They're not addictive.
And how many of these bad boys do you go through on a given day?
Well, we certainly go through our share. It's the people at Herbal Ecstasy must love us, because our weekly order is probably 3 cases of them. So.
But there's a lot of booze being drunk. Is any of that real?
Sadly, no.
That's
also fake. Otherwise, we'd never get through the day. It'd be nap time.
How did you reacquaint yourself with the feel of the late 50s and early 60s? And how do you continue to reacquaint yourself?
We have so much research material that's basically just sitting around on set. All of the magazines in our offices are period. You can walk and pick up any folder and it's stuffed with ads that are from the time. I mean, you literally could walk around our set and genuinely feel like you're living in the early 60s, because you can read Time magazine. We have tons of Time magazines on that are actual period accurate. So it's pretty easy to remain in that zone. I mean, obviously everyone has their iPhone and everyone, it's very high tech as well, but it's pretty easy to stay in that zone.
Don can be a bit of a cat at times. I think that's putting it mildly. What do you think his redeeming qualities are?
You have to understand, I think, fundamentally, Don Dick is an incredibly damaged human being.
You got everything you ever wanted. Everything! And you loved it! And now I'm not good enough for some spoiled mainline brat?
That's right!
You won't get a nickel. I'll take the kids. God knows he'll be better off.
What he has accomplished through kind of the strength of his own will and his own ambition and his own creativity and cleverness. And so those, I think, are his redeeming qualities. And I think that's what resonates throughout the show, of this sort of American dream and self-made man and all of these things that really came out of the post-war generation. It's a constant strive to be better, and he fails like a lot of people fail, and he makes bad decisions as well, but I think that's what makes him human. He's not a superhero by any stretch of the imagination.
Ellen Speicher from Columbus, Ohio asks, is Mad Men really about men or women?
There are at least three phenomenal female characters on our show, in Peggy, Joan, and Betty.
You just assume I'll do whatever you say. Just follow you, like some nervous poodle.
I'm not going to beg you.
Beg me? You didn't even ask me.
It's very much about how they are behaving and dealing with this world that these men nominally run. But I think it's they're two sides of the same coin. I don't think you can have a show about men that doesn't deal with women. And I don't think you can have a show about women that doesn't deal with men. I mean, gender politics plays into everybody's daily life, whether you like it or not.
Has playing Donald Draper influenced your personal style?
One of the big things with Don is he looks a certain way in a suit, and it's very much a statement about a person who's ready to do their job and ready to be look professional and look like he's in control of the situation. I think that's a big statement that Don's wardrobe makes.
How are you today, Don?
I'm well, Connie. Thank you. How are you?
I'm afraid I have some serious business to discuss. Have a seat.
And have many of his outfits been borrowed by Jon Hamm?
No, I don't. I've gone to a couple things that I've had to leave right from set and go to some sort of thing, so I've just gone in my wardrobe. But it's surprising. The period suits look very period, and they look great when they're in the show, but you take them out and you put them in the Beverly Hills Hotel and it looks different.
Great. Well, once again, thank you so much for your time, and best of luck with
Absolutely.
Mad Men and all your projects.
Thank you very much. My pleasure.